News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
After 14 years, Cody Marble will be released from prison. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It is Wednesday, April 20th, 2016. The sky's clear. It's an absolutely beautiful morning. What a great week. 42 degrees in Missoula right now. And our newscast this morning, sponsored by Transport Equipment. They're your headquarters for RV service, maintenance, and repair, located next to the Axeman on Inspiration Drive. When Cody Marble was 17, he was charged with raping a 13-year-old boy in the juvenile wing of the Missoula County Jail. He was convicted of sexual intercourse without consent in 2002 and sent to prison, all the while proclaiming his innocence. Missoula County Attorney Kirsten Pabst made this announcement yesterday.
A host of law enforcement officers testified that the crime could not have happened, that there was no adequate window of opportunity, and that the other inmates concocted a setup and or that Marble was railroaded. Recent interviews of some of those law enforcement officers maintain that in their opinion, Cody Marble was railroaded.
Pabst said it's never too late to do the right thing and calling for Marble's release from prison after 14 years.
The Constitution requires that we always strive to do the right thing at the right time, in the right manner. In conducting the search for justice in this case, we've come to the conclusion that the underlying judgment must be dismissed.
Pabst said the Montana Supreme Court recently reversed the case, mandating that her office take a more critical look at the foundation of Marble's conviction. He's currently incarcerated at the Crossroads Correctional Center in Shelby. He was due to be released yesterday. Back in 2014, as the city was making its case to the public as to why it should use eminent domain to force the Mountain Water Company's sale, Mayor John Engen on Talkback told the public that rates would stay the same under city management.
We've done extensive due diligence on our ability to afford and operate Mountain Water, knowing what we know, and we believe that we can afford to operate it through existing rate, and we believe that we can pay the debt.
Leroy Beebe was the rate analyst for the Montana Public Service Commission that prepared the rates that Mountain Water has used since 2012. On Talkback yesterday, Beebe said if the city obtains Mountain Water Company for the expected $88 million plus legal fees, Missoula ratepayers will have to pay more for their water.
It's going to be a healthy increase. It could be as high as double, if not more. If they have to do debt service on $100 million, let's round that to $3.5 million for debt service alone, plus the expenses of operating, where in this situation with the private ownership, it's about half of that. It's going to be more.
One of the arguments the city made during the course of its pursuit of Mountain Water is that it'll be able to capture the overhead costs that put the money back into infrastructure. However, Beebe says the city's interest costs alone will outweigh the amount of capturable overhead.
In this situation, if you take the debt service alone for Mountain Water, the debt service is going to be well over $3, $4, $5 million a year. If you took $87 million at 3.5%, which is probably what your municipal rate's going to be, that money doesn't stay in community. That goes to the banks. They're sitting there drooling, literally, because of the commissions on it.
The city of Missoula's eminent domain case to obtain the Mountain Water Company will be in court on Friday when the Montana Supreme Court comes to the University of Montana. Kensley Ava Leanne Olson, a 1-year-old Native American female child, was abducted at about 12:30 yesterday afternoon from a residence in Poplar. A vehicle of interest is a silver 2006 Chrysler with North Dakota license plate KCV 650. Persons of interest are Melinda Tweet and Timothy Dwayne Dornheim, both of Minot, possibly returning to Minot. Anyone with information has to call the Roosevelt County Sheriff at 406-653-6240. That is an Amber Alert. A 31-year-old woman is facing a deliberate homicide charge after police say she admitted to fatally shooting a man east of Trout Creek last year. The Billings Gazette reports Jenna Michael appeared in court Tuesday, was ordered to be jailed on $100,000 bond. She was arrested by the U.S. Marshals Violent Offender Task Force in Billings Monday in connection with the July 9th death of 54-year-old Marvin Gallagher. Missoula police were called for shoplifting in progress Monday. Public Information Officer Travis Welsh explains what happened.
Upon their arrival, they had learned that the suspect was actually no longer on scene, and they spoke to loss prevention employees who reported that an adult female had attempted a fraudulent return in which she was provided cash, after which it was determined that she had not actually purchased the item she returned, but had simply taken it off a shelf. There was a brief struggle at the entrance to the store between this woman and loss prevention, and she was able to get away.
The suspect reportedly lashed out at store employees using her fingernails to scratch at least one loss prevention officer. That act turned the theft charge into felony robbery.
She was taken into custody for outstanding warrants and then has later added a charge of robbery. During the commission of a theft, if there's any threat or infliction of bodily injury, that raises the stakes on it, makes it a little more serious, and it actually meets the element of robbery.
Amber Seitz had previously been told not to return to the Walmart. She also received a misdemeanor trespassing charge. Missoula police apprehended her walking down Reserve shortly after the robbery occurred. Advocates for medical marijuana in Montana begun gathering signatures for an initiative that would ask voters to undo legislation limiting the use of that substance. However, backers of I-182 have only 9 weeks to collect over 24,000 valid signatures needed to place the measure on the November ballot. The Yes on 182 campaign said during a news conference at the state capitol yesterday, signature gatherers were already fanning out throughout the state. Voters in 2004 legalized marijuana for medical use, but the law was rolled back by the 2011 legislature. If approved, the measure would lift the 3-patient limit imposed on providers and establish licensing fees to pay for administering the program. The town of Stevensville is without its mayor. According to former mayor Paul Ludington, he decided to resign after witnessing a lack of trust among those who run the city.
I have seemed to reach an impasse with the town council. There's developed a basic lack of confidence or lack of trust between myself and the town council, and it's really hard for me to try to be able to do the job as the mayor without the trust of the council.
Ludington said the issue of trust came to a head over his attempt to appoint a judge.
I thought I had gotten consent from the council to appoint a new city judge. Apparently they were unable to approve that consent. Based on the process that we used, I thought that was the best procedure for the town, the best option for the town, and they simply refused to consent to it. The judge I propose he's currently the Darbytown judge. His name is Chief Burnside.
Now, Stevensville is without a mayor or a judge. The Stevensville City Council is expected to meet tomorrow to come up with an interim process on how to proceed without a mayor. Our News Talk time now is 6:12.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Ample sunshine and warm temperatures today as we top out right around the 80-degree mark. Low 80s in the forecast Thursday and Friday, but showers and cooler temperatures return for the weekend with highs in the 50s and 60s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.